Yo guys, and welcome to another Dark Rain video. This time I'm going to be showing you my Quantum DPS POV using its brand new advanced mechanic. Now I know all of our subs out there have been waiting a long time for this, and my apologies that it has come so late, but the problem is I am a PlayStation player, therefore I cannot get on test server and give you the latest and greatest footage. And even if that is the case, it doesn't really matter, as things always change before they go to live. Now this is the first run I've ever done with Quantum, so if I'm perfectly honest, I didn't really know what I was doing. I do mess my rotation up on occasions, and this loadout I slung together whilst messing about against the sparring targets in the league hall. So what's on my bar and how am I using it? So from left to right on my bar is Warped Reality, Distortion Wave, Warp Barrage, Tachyon Blast, Time Bomb and Grav Well. So typically my rotation would be, whenever I encounter a new group of enemies, what I would do is I'd lay down Grav Well, I'd clip its animation with Warp Reality. From there I'd activate Time Bomb and I'd simply go from left to right through all of my powers. So I'd start with Distortion Wave to lay down the destabilizing power interaction on all of the enemies, hit Warp Barrage, hit Tachyon Blast, and then by the time you've used those three powers, Time Bomb is ready to go again. It's at this point I simply repeat the process with Time Bomb, so hit Time Bomb, Distortion Wave, Warp Barrage, Tachyon Blast, and then typically Grav Well and Warped Reality are ready to go again. So I just clip those two again, back into Time Bomb, and then back into that rotation that punches out the big hit with Time Bomb. Now as you're watching the video guys, bear in mind that I occasionally do mess up the rotation. I am interrupted at times, and I also mess up my trinket rotation at times as well, because I'm not used to this power or this tune and its trinket setup, as I've been playing more on my main Empuser as of late. But nonetheless, Quantum is still an absolute freak of nature, and it will devastate everything in its path. So if you pick this power up, the likelihood is you are going to be top end DPS if you follow what I have done here. In the video I'm up against a couple of DPSs who are quite well experienced, especially Death Becomes You and Killer Starscream. Killer Starscream is also Quantum, but he was not running any form of dot loadout, so we don't override each other. So we're pretty much doing very similar things, but I think my rotation's slightly tighter, as by the end I've out DPS'd him by quite a margin. As for Death Becomes You, he's about as good as people can get with gadgets. So basically what I'm saying is Quantum is probably one of the top end DPS powers in the game at the moment, and mainly because you don't have to do a great deal in order to get your damage. Death Becomes You, he'll rotate through quite a specific loadout. He's got stealth on the bar. It takes a lot of skill for him to put it out. For me, I just simply scroll left to right with my powers and damage goes out. I say the reason Quantum's probably OP at the minute is because its base damage is a fair bit higher than the other advanced mechanics in the game. So Time Bomb, I very rarely see hit for less than 15,000 on a single target. But that's the sparring targets. Actually in a scrap, it hits phenomenally hard. I'm sure I see a 58k in there at one point. It's hitting like an absolute freight train guys, so enjoy. So the rest of the video guys is me basically putting down the hurt with Quantum as a complete and utter Quantum noob. I must have been this power 5 minutes before I put together this loadout and rotation, and it punches out disgusting damage. One thing I will say is pay attention to the boss fight at the end. It does some really good damage in there, but I am knocked out when the boss has about a quarter of his life left, so I'm left outside the door, and I check the scoreboard there. Quantum is in front by a considerable margin, and I do mean considerable. And not only that, even once the boss has died and I've been sat outside for 25% of his health pool, I remain in front still by a considerable margin. So Quantum is probably OP at the minute. Whether or not it'll have any changes, I'm not sure. But I guess you'll have to wait and see. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video guys, and enjoy the hurt Quantum puts down.
how we get down. That's how we get down.
They'll deal our hand. They'll say that we went off track, off roads we ran. Getting lost was the best we had. I've got one wish, and it starts and it ends like this. And it starts and it ends like this. And I wrote down to show how I know how it ends. And I wrote down to show how I know how. And we'll write our names in lights as we're sitting on the back of our hands. And we'll stand our ground tonight to sing this song for you. We're sitting on the back of our hands, and we'll stand our ground tonight to sing this song. Our names in and we'll stand our ground tonight to sing this song for you. To sing this song for you. And we'll write our names in lights as we're singing on the back of our heads. To sing this song in write our names in lights as we're sitting on the back of our heads, and we'll stand our ground tonight to sing this song for you. Write our names in lights as we're sitting on the back of our heads, and we'll stand our ground tonight to sing this song for you. Our names in our names in our names in
Thanks a lot for watching, guys. We are Dark Rain. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at DarkRainDCUO, and as always, we'll see you in game.